Hey, what's going on, guys? This Terrence Ray back at you with another stock market update, the weekly edition. For this week, right now I got a chart of the SPX pulled up, and if you don't know, I like to chart out the weekly expected move for the week, so then that way I know what to expect, and I derive that I get that from the option chain for the SPX on the week ending on Friday, which this week would be October 18th. And you can see it's $68.03 for the week. And then I just take that and plot that here. This week, I do expect for us to get another melt up. As you can see, if we look right here, we'll see we had a little range, maybe right here, come out of that range. Gave us a little doji candlestick right here on Thursday, and then broke higher Friday. And to be honest with you, I expect it to continue to drift, or it could drift sideways. If I bring my indicators back up, we are not quite overbought on the RSI. We just have a RSI right now of 64. If you can't see, let me see if I can make it. It's right over here on the left. I have it where you can look at it, where I can just see the number. And generally, when it gets over 70, it'll turn red. Letting me know, like, hey, statistically, according to relative strength, um, we are overbought, right? That doesn't mean that it can't go higher, but then it just means that we've gone pretty far in a range, and we still have some some room to go before we get to being overbought. So I expect us to continue to drift higher. Also, I pair that with I'm gonna pull up let's look at the QQQ. So if we look up the triple Qs, you can see we still right here on this level. Like we got a gap to fill on the Qs, which is right around, let's see, that gap is right around 496. So right around 496.36, somewhere right around in here. So I expect the Qs to fill that gap this week. So maybe it'll drift a little higher as well. I do have some more Fibonacci extension levels for it to go. Doesn't mean it's going to hit all of them, but I do expect for it to fill this gap completely. And if the Qs fill that gap completely, then some of the same stocks are also in the SPY. So I expect the SPY to continue to drift well as well. If we look at, I noticed IWM. I didn't notice it until Friday when it was getting close to the bell, but we got a real big green candlestick on IWM, right? So if we look on the bottom down here, you can see I have my squeeze indicator, and you can see where it was in a range right here, right? Um, got a couple of fractals right here. So I'm just gonna say right here, here was the range, right? And you can see, and then down here at the bottom, we got the three red dots. So inside of a range right here, and we got this big green candlestick right here on Friday. Now, if the IWM continues to go higher, like what is the next level? You got a fractal right here, right up here. I expect the IWM to continue to go higher. That's a nice engulfing strong green candlestick that we hadn't seen in the past, maybe almost a month, really, in IWM. Now you see that it's going higher, right? I expect it to continue to go up, and if IWM, which has a lot of banks, has a lot of contains a lot of regional banks, and you can see the banks. Let's look at the banks on Friday. Look at JP Morgan. JP Morgan has a night hit a Fibonacci extension level right here too. Got a nice green candlestick right here. This actually was not on I'm gonna add this to my watch list. This isn't on my weekly playlist, but just looking at it right now, it probably should be. Look at this. So I expect now you could maybe Monday get a little chop, maybe Tuesday, then Wednesday. I expect this to continue to go higher, take out these all-time highs right here. So I fully expect JP Morgan to continue to go higher. Goldman Sachs, look at that. So the banks are breaking out. IWM contains a lot of banks. I'm gonna show you some more banks. Look at Goldman Sachs. So, we got bullish moves. And one thing about it, it's hard for the market to go down when the banks are going up. When you see the financials going up, you can pretty much, that's why I keep XLF on over here. I'm gonna come peep at XLF real quick. Look at it. You can see the little triangle right here at the top. See, boom, what we got? Boom. Breaking out of that triangle. See it? Make it bigger so you guys can see. See that? Breaking higher. Um, let's go back to, let's look at another bank. Let's look at City. Look at City. Breaking higher. Big green candlestick. Let's look at Morgan Stanley. Look at Morgan Stanley breaking out of the highs right here. Let's look at Bank of America. Look right here, breaking out of this range. Big green candlestick. See that? Let's look at Wells Fargo. Look at it. Breaking higher. So when we see that, now also I'll show you a regional ETF, KR. I actually traded this last week. Look at this. See this big green candlestick? And it already is going through one of my fib levels, going towards. Now, I'm willing to bet. Y'all know my saying. If I was a betting man, and I am, I'm betting that it's gonna break through this trend line right here and go higher. So we got region. This is a ETF of regional banks. Those same banks would be inside of IWM, the majority of them. You see them breaking higher. We got to break higher on IWM. So right now, I didn't even intend to do the video and talk about that. I just kind of rolled into it as I was looking when I went and looked at IWM. Banks going higher, IWM going higher. Those are some nice bullish plays. Any one of the ones I just pulled up, right? Um, Now, with them having big green candlesticks like this, we could see a chop, after a big move like that, maybe a day or two, and then it continues to go higher. You could see a little resistance right here on this KRE, right? So, what are some strategies? Buying shares basically is something that I may possibly doing. Um, I'll narrow it down to the one I like the best, right? And maybe buy some shares and hold it for a week or two, maybe. If you don't get the move right away, you can do cover calls, buy shares, sell a call against it. Maybe selling a put spread, right? Selling a put spread is something that's liquid like JP Morgan, or I don't know if I will buy a call spread right here because you will still need a big move to get paid. It may have been better to buy the call spread while it was down. But these are all this is Goldman Sachs right here. All these banks look good. These are great charts. If you're a bull, you know, these are great charts going into the week. And this is a good sign, I think, for the overall market, right? Now, let's go over some of the weekly plays that I had that I actually had scripted. Everything I just did was off script, right? I didn't have any idea. IWM popped in my head while I was looking at the cues. So now let's go look at the ones I've been talking about for the past week. If you've been watching the weekly videos for the past couple weeks, Cloudflare has been on here. Any ticker symbol NET. If like I was talking about it last week, it was right back in here. Look, this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, and here was Monday. I literally said, now I didn't know how it was gonna react right here. I said it may hit here and then pull back and retest. We never got the pullback of the retest. That's why sometimes you can't play it super safe. Like the perfect setup is to break up here, retest, pull back, and then flag right here and go higher. That's what you want. That's what you want to see. I'll show you an example of something like that real quick. I'm gonna come back to this stock because I want to talk about it. But maybe something like this. I'm gonna look at it on the intraday. When I say come back, pull back and retest, I'm talking about something like this. You see this right here? So maybe like you get something here and then you pull back, right? And then break higher. That's what I was talking about. You might possibly see in Cloudflare, but you just didn't get it. Sometimes you just don't get it. It just break through it and keep going, right? That was a nice move. I've been talking about that move. Let's look at CrowdStrike. Same thing. You can see this was Friday, Thursday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Monday. Go back and look at last week's video. It was right here. We right up here. Um, Now you could see a little chop in here, or guys, it could just keep going because you got to fill this. I ain't gonna say you got to, but I expect this gap to be filled right here, right around 343. You got another gap up here at 368. So these are nice charts. Um, same same way you could play these. Now this one, the only thing I will say about this one, let me go back and look at. See, both of these are statistically on the RSI. You see, it's red, overbought. That does not mean it can't go higher. It just means for me, when I see that, I generally, if I was in these particular stocks in long, I would be taking profit or selling calls against existing shares, um, looking for that pullback. Now it could keep going, but I'm just saying, I would like to see a little chop and then go higher again. Like see that rubber band, um, kind of like it's stretched now, right? You want to see it pull back. Then when it pull back, you pull it back like this and then take off again. Nvidia, look at it. I've been talking about Nvidia. You see this triangle? Excuse me. We got the triangle right here. Break out of the triangle. Got a little red day right here, and here we go. I got Nvidia going to take these highs out at 140. So this is another one. I think it got at least another $6 more to go. At least take the highs out. This Fibonacci extension, it may get there, it may not, but I do expect it to take these highs out right here. Symbiotic. I have no idea what this stock does or what it is, but I am in it. You can see the dotted line. I bought shares right. I actually got in it today. I seen it on Friday. I would have loved to have seen this on Thursday, but I didn't. So seen it on Friday. Here we go. Um, I was contemplating maybe taking profit. Maybe I should have, but we'll see. So on the daily, I got a level right here at 32.84. Let's see if we get to it. Intraday, what made me hold it, honestly, is intraday. Now, this action right here is just Friday. On Friday, it gapped up, pulled back, and gave me my flag, right? That's where I throw my Fibonacci extensions on, and then we go from there. Uh, Bust through this level, hit the 100 level, came back and chopped here. Let's see what it does on Monday. It could chop some more, could come down in here. I'm holding it. Um, I won't take profit or think about taking profit to maybe right up here around 33. We'll see if we get that move. It'll probably get around get around in here and then stall. But we'll see. One thing I can do uh is when I say so I got 100 shares here, right? I don't know why my voice. Give me just a second. There we go. All right. So I got 100 shares. So if it gets up there to hit resistance, and I may do it anyway, I come in here and sell a call. Sell the 35 call. This call right here, the 35 strike. This is the 30 delta. My sweet spot for doing cover calls and selling calls against existing positions is right in between the 30 and 40 delta. 30 is the sweet spot for me. 30, 35 right in there. Sometimes I'll go further out if it's really the IV rank is really high and I can get a lot more bang for my buck. So this one is one where I could do that. I can still probably collect 85 cent coming out here to the 22 delta. Excuse me. That's pretty good. So we'll see how the stock moves on Monday. But this one I am in currently. Let's look at CFLT. This came up on I was running some scans and I see this trend. I drew this trend line right here. Look where we got the flag down here. Pull back, boom. So this is another one. The squeeze was on right here, coming out of the squeeze. Guys, I may jump in this one. I may jump in this one on next week as well. I'm gonna see what happened here. I got another level, next level up. Filling this gap is right around 24, 25. Um, we'll see. This stock coming out of a squeeze, just fading down. Something made it move like this. It's in the Nasdaq, so we'll see. Got high IV rank. So this is one you can actually sell a put in. We got earnings, so gotta be careful with that. You can sell a put in here. Maybe sell the 30, 30 put, 30 delta put, take in 130. It's pretty good right there. That's a decent trade. Let's take a look at Macy's. Now look at this. Same type setup. If I drew a trend line, I can look at it. It will come right, it will come from here all the way down to here. Right here where it's crossing over the 50 SMA. This is beautiful because all three of these the 9-day, the 20, and the 50 are converging. You got a squeeze right here. You break out of this squeeze and we off to the races. So there's no telling how far it can go. So this is one on the weekly, my weekly play. I'll be watching this. Intap, net app. Look at this trading range here. Touch, 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 touch. Fifth one, I expect it to blow through here. If it continues to go up. So that's how I like this one. And as last but not least, Riot. Look at this range. Look at this long triangle. I'm gonna take all the indicators off just so you can see I want you guys to be able to see that long triangle. And it's like it's coming to a point, it's converging. Bring the indicators back on. And you can see let me go look at a weekly. Let's see if it's in a squeeze on the weekly. It's getting there. Look at that. So at some point it's gonna pop. It's gonna pop. That at least that's what I think. Right. So I just threw that on there. It's a cheap stock. It's only an $8 stock. Something like this, I'd only buy shares in. Pull up, pull back. If it breaks this fractal right here, I'll probably jump in this one. Jump in 100 shares. I may even jump in it even if it don't break right here and just hold it. I'll be holding to maybe up here at least around 10. May even hold up for the whole thing with something like this. It's cheap stock. You can hold this, try to play and try to get all the juice out of it. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. Might get a big move. But these are my weekly plays for the week, guys. Hopefully, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button. Hopefully, you got something out of this. You got you something to watch this week. And with that being said, guys, I'm gonna be out. Peace.